Hey everybody, John Swift. Today we will be out hunting our very own coconuts. Yes folks, we're gonna hunt them down, slaughter them, and take them home and harvest the meat so we can store it and use it for the winter. So, the beginning, in all seriousness, what you want to do when you're thinking about looking for coconuts is you need to be able to visually identify. So you need to look up some photos on the internet. I'm going to show you some examples of some trees today, and I'm going to show you how you can find them and get your own coconut for eating or planting. All right, so these are different visually, that they have the limbs stick straight up a lot of times. You can tell from a distance when you see these. Like I said, those royal palms also have a very similar quality to that. But like I said, look up pictures and get familiar with them. They have a smooth trunk. And as you'll notice, these older ones, have sort of a smooth trunk. So, and then of course, if it's growing coconuts, you could just look up and there's green coconuts there. Sometimes there will be no coconuts for whatever reason. Sometimes they trim them. Sometimes the tree may be not fruiting. Anyway, so here's how you find coconuts. A lot of times they're just dropped. I don't really know the regularity. Sometimes I'll come by here and there'll be one here like, 1 week, and sometimes they're not. But this is a very small baby one that has gone bad. And if you shake it, you can hear that there's no water in it for the most part. Now, if this was green, it would be so full of water you can't hear it. But I'm just going to shake it for you. You don't hear any sloshing. But if you pick up a green coconut, it'll be completely full, and the difference is you'll feel the weight of a green one will be much heavier. I'd say this is maybe a pound, and if this was full of water and green, it would probably be about 2-3 pounds. So that one is not a no-go. There's a lot of green ones up here though, and some brown ones. So a coconut, when it's brown, is usually going to fall, and you can see some of these. I guess the sun's not very good. Some of these are getting dark. I don't know if you can see that or not. The sun is really in a bad spot today. Some of these are dark, and that means they're getting close to falling. They like to fall when they're brown. Sometimes they do fall when they're green. So there's 3 trees here, and this has been a good spot since I've found these trees. So here's an example of one that is brown. I'm gonna get out from under the tree because if they fall and hit you in the head, they're very heavy. So this one feels like it's should be good because it's still heavy, but I don't hear any water in this one. So this may just be right for eating the fruit inside, which is basically the white kind of meat, what they call it, the meat, not the water. And this would be not as good for planting because you want them to have water in there. So I'm just gonna leave that one there, but we're gonna check out some other spots. Okay, so now we're right near a hotel, and they do have coconut trees out here. What has happened is they always have the gardener people come out and they trim the coconuts off the coconut tree so as not to place any liability for them falling on people, because coconuts are quite heavy. And when I was in the Keys, they had signs everywhere that said watch out for falling coconuts, because people, I think, can get hurt. I've been lucky to have not been hurt. We're gonna go to a different little spot and see if we can spot some more coconuts over here. All right, so this is an example of a great spot to pick up coconuts because the tree is right here and there's no foot traffic, so therefore people don't see the coconuts, and therefore there's usually a lot more sitting there. And the fact that it's in the shade, the coconuts don't dry out as quick. So let's go over there and check out, see if we can find any good ones. So we got one right here that has fallen. And it's weird that it has a stick in it. That's really strange. And I can tell by the weight. Usually, like I said, they feel heavy like, you know, more than a couple pounds. Even though this is brown, it's been here too long and it does not have any water. So we're gonna try to see if we can find another one. All right, so I got another one directly under the tree, and you can immediately feel the difference if you pick up one that's water. And plus, I don't know if you can hear this, but listen. Can you hear that? So it sounds like a half full thing of water. And this will be good for planting, plus you can drink the coconut water, and there'll be meat in there too. But it's also brown, and this would be a prime candidate for planting. All right, so we're gonna go to the next spot and see if there's any over there. But visually, there's not really a way to tell if it's good because they're all just gonna be a general brown color. This is an indication that it was green not too long ago. This sort of darker color, as they get browner, they sort of get lighter, a lighter color. So this probably dropped within a week or two, because I think it's been that long since I checked this tree. So we're gonna take this one with us. Yeah, so you can see a definite difference in these two trees between a royal and this palm. Usually has more upright leaves. But the reason why this is a good spot to find coconuts is because it has this wall around it, and people don't really see the coconuts when they walk by. They aren't aware. For a long time, I used to go by this tree and not notice that it was a coconut tree because I don't know, my girlfriend spotted this tree anyway. So it has this nice little retaining wall, and the coconuts usually fall within these bushes, which is kind of a plus because people don't pick them up as much. So I found these two, and you'll see one is a little bit browner than the other. That usually means that this one is a little newer. It was recently green and it has that dark, and this is a little bit more brown. There's nothing wrong with either of these. You can hear the water. That one's very full, and you can feel the weight. That one is a good one for planting, also for drinking. And this one also, you hear that water? It's like the less you hear the water, the more water is in there. If it's really sloshy, that means a little less water. So that means that these will be good for planting because the water-filled ones are good for planting, and they're more readily grown. And now, if it has less water in it, or if it doesn't have any water, you could probably still eat the white meat out of it. So here's one that's just full, chocked full. And what you're usually looking for is those brown ones that are just starting to get like a dark green, brownish like that. That means within a few weeks they're probably gonna fall. Unfortunately, this tree has them right in this little box, so it's basically just catches all the coconuts. I don't see any ready ones, but there's some little baby ones that have fallen off. And my thinking is that they were maybe diseased or something, or they're not good, they fell off. I don't see any older ones. Sometimes you have to look around a little bit. There's some baby wipes there. Something gross over there. I don't know what that is. All right, well, thanks for joining me on the John Swift Live. If you haven't subscribed yet to my other channel, please do me a favor and go to Mr. John Swift DIY to check out more videos on that channel. I really appreciate it. And subscribe over there. Anyway, so I got my coconuts. It's been a successful day. Sometimes when you go out looking, you find none, unless you have a really long ladder and a knife with you. You won't find any. But this is like just generally how to find them. Good luck to you. And check out my channel for more coconut type videos. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Look at this asshole. Can't go around me. Douchebag. There's a guy behind me over here staring me down with a bicycle. I don't know what he's doing. People are eyeballing me. You know, a lot of times when I'm doing this, is he still looking at me? Still staring at me. A lot of times, people just ignore me like I'm not even here. Like, you probably see people walking by, and then some people like stare at me like that, and I tend to be like, why is that guy there? He's still there. He's still there staring at me.